Recycling is very much the flavour of the month at the moment, but goldsmiths and jewellers have been recycling for these past 6,000 years. Two reasons for that. The first, the scarcity of the material. If all the gold ever mined in the world was gathered into one lump, it would make a cube 20 metres per side. The other factor is the expense of the material. Here we have a broken bracelet and ring that the customers requested be turned into a bangle. So, to work. We throw it into the crucible and start. So, we have now melted the gold and cast it into this iron mould. This will give us a wire bar. And there we have one wire bar. 17 grams of 9-carat gold. This we will prepare for the rolling mill. We have seen the gold melted into a wire bar. We now roll the wire bar through this beast, which is capable of exerting immense pressure, into a usable form. And go! Here we see the wire bar halfway through rolling, ready for an anneal. As the metal is worked, the crystalline structure crushes together in order that makes it harder to work. Eventually, if you don't anneal it, annealing as we know is motion, all the crystals shake out into a nice even structure again and makes it easier to work. As we see, this is the acid test. The acid cleans the dross off the metal, but because the metal is gold, it doesn't dissolve the gold. Okay. Now, having rolled the gold a square wire, as far as we need to take it, we change to the flat rollers, which will give us a flattened strip, a rectangular cross section, and centimetres. Right, I think we might be there to measure that. What have we got? Now we have rolled the metal to the right section and the right dimension. Now we make the bangle out of it. Okay. We're now ready to create the bangle. Roll the metal. So now we measure out the required length, which will be 200 millimeters, that being the size that will just fit over the customer's wrist. Now, having cleaned the ends, we can shape it up. We have now put the two cut ends of the material together as closely as we can. It is now time to solder. We solder the metal with gold solder. The hole marking requirements mean that even the solder holding the parts together has to be of hole marking quality. In this particular instance, I'm using 18 karat solder. I accept it's a bit more expensive, but it gives a better job and is easier to use. So, we place the solder under the joint in this case. We apply a little flux. The flux will dissolve all the impurities on the metal and keep it safe from oxidation, whilst the heat melts the solder and helps everything to run. So we heat away from the joint. Let the metal warm up. You will know when it reaches the right temperature because the flux will melt first. There we have the joint made. Now, having made the joint, something we need to do is to throw it up. Having soldered, we now heat it in a little acid. The acid, of course, clears off the oxide. And now, having cleaned the oxide off and then washed the acid off, we are now ready to round the bracelet off, drop it on the mandrel, and there we have it, the bangle ready to go for hallmarking. When it comes back, it will be cleaned and polished and ready to deliver to the customer.